Hawks fans, we have breaking news. Breaking news is out of Atlanta right now, and I have to bring you guys the news. The Atlanta Hawks are making moves right before the NBA draft, and it is surrounding the center position. Now, again, this right here is a huge update, guys. I'm talking about breaking news. The Hawks just made a shocking Kristaps Porzingis trade. Yes, Kristaps Porzingis is scheduled to be an Atlanta Hawk. We now have what I would like to call a former Boston Celtic threw that jersey away. And the Atlanta Hawks are trading for Kristaps Porzingis. It is reported so far that by Shams as well, and there's also like Jeff Fisker, Mark Stein. It's being reported by multiple sources that Kristaps Porzingis will be coming to Atlanta. Now, if you guys have been following Hawks Digest, I dropped a video that said that had a scenario of Kristaps Porzingis ending up in Atlanta. Well, here we have it. Here on June 24th, the day before the draft, the Atlanta Hawks are trying to improve the center position. Now, I will say, this is a huge risk. Of course, we know the injury history, everything surrounding around Kristaps Porzingis, but so far, because we're still waiting for details to be finalized, so honestly, expect another video to come out after this one from Hawks Digest. But so far on the table, it's a three-team trade between the Boston Celtics, Atlanta Hawks, and Brooklyn Nets. Now, the details so far of the trade is, of course, Atlanta getting Kristaps Porzingis. We're also supposed to get a second-round pick. Now, I'm assuming it's a second-round pick in this year's draft, so we can still possibly go out and get yet another center. So that's what I'm assuming that it could possibly be. But we'll see when it happens, when everything is finalized. It could be finalized at any minute. You know what I'm saying? So just be on the lookout. This is an exciting time. This is breaking news. So, we're going to definitely make sure we're on it. But also, the Brooklyn Nets, they receive our 22nd overall pick. Yes, we've given up our 22nd overall pick, but we still have our 13th overall pick. So, the Atlanta Hawks still are positioned to take, the right player for them at 13. Then they still have the opportunity to possibly get someone else in the second round. Maybe a Hassan Yang, maybe a Danny Wolf. Who knows? It depends on who's there. But they definitely, honestly, probably been looking at the draft boards, been looking at the players that they're looking at that they like, and they possibly were saying, hey, it may be a little rich at 22 to take Hassan Yang or Danny Wolf or Max Raynard. You never know. You never know what's going on behind the scenes as people talk, as prospects. We think they can be going this high, but the rest of the league may be thinking something totally different. So maybe the Atlanta Hawks want to pivot and say, hey, we can get more value if we can get off some of these contracts and and pick up other picks and players, otherwise like this. But it's not over. The Boston Celtics will be getting George Niang. The Boston Celtics will be getting George Niang. Also, the Brooklyn Nets will be getting, like I said, our 22nd overall pick and Terrence Mann. So, the Atlanta Hawks will be receiving a second-round pick and Kristaps Porzingis. The Brooklyn Nets receive the Hawks' 22nd overall pick and Terrence Mann's contract. So Terrence Mann will be off the books for the Hawks. Georges Niang, he had an expiring contract, and it is going to the Boston Celtics with our 2031. That's what the rumors are right now, with the 2031 second-round pick that we got from the Cleveland Cavaliers. So there's a lot of moving pieces, but you got to look at it from a financial standpoint. The Atlanta Hawks did get a little bit better because you think about it, they got rid of two players, 15 mil, and I believe around like 8-9 mil for Georges Niang, and then they bring in Kristaps Porzingis contract. Now, I know he's making 30 mil but he is on an expiring contract. In 2026, he is an unrestricted free agent. So this is yet another expiring contract. And if he can stay healthy, because that is the biggest concern, can Kristaps Porzingis somehow, some way, remain healthy for the Atlanta Hawks? Because if he can, him being a backup behind Double O, coming in, being able to space the floor, coming in, being able to give that pick and pop ability, coming in, being able to actually protect the rim a little bit with his 7-foot frame. We've been talking about we want a 7-footer. Yes, my biggest concern back in my video when I talked about Kristaps then, I said it was draft capital, but mostly for him, it's can you stay healthy, young man? And my thing is, I'm not sure about that, but I do want players who can stay healthy. That is my biggest concern, not necessarily his skill set, because Kristaps has really had to change his game. When he first came in, I feel like he was a little bit more athletic. But now, when you look at it, Kristaps Porzingis is at a different time frame of his career. So you have to look at it like this. If Kristaps Porzingis can hold up, he's adding depth because we still have Moji, still have Dominic Barlow. We'll see what else comes down the pipeline. We're probably going to add possibly another big man as well. So you just have to wait and see what exactly is going to come down the pipeline. But I'm telling you, this right here, if this move pays off for the Atlanta Hawks, you've added depth, you got shooting. The main concern I will continue to reiterate, can this man stay healthy for the Atlanta Hawks? We've suffered so many injuries since 2021, and we are trying to get back on the healthy train. So, Hawks fans, let me know how you feeling about this. Are you guys concerned about Kristaps Porzingis? Do you guys like the move? Do you like the fact that we got off of Terrence Mann's $15 million contract and also Georges Niang's about $8 to $9 million contract? But yes, we got off those two players. Those two players also remain healthy for the Atlanta Hawks too. That's something you have to think about. I already know it was a small sample size coming off of the NBA trade deadline and all the stuff, but they still remained healthy for the most part and was available for you. Can Kristaps Porzingis come in and be available for you? I wouldn't play him too many minutes if it was me, because I want to keep him healthy, man. So about 20 minutes a game, I wouldn't be mad at it, But we'll see what happens, because, again, you don't want to necessarily hinder any kind of development. I just think that it's going to be times to where you possibly may even see Porzingis and Okongwu on the floor together because of the spacing. We'll see, though. We'll see. Waiting for the rest of the details to come out. It should be coming out any minute now. But, Hawks fans, be prepared. We're going to go through full details, full disclosure once everything is officially official. Let's get ready, guys. Let's go, Hawks. Let me know your thoughts. Peace and blessings to you, but we'll be right back at you, and I'll holler.